I can't imagine my life without faith and without God.
Family is my happy place. In this hustle culture, just step back and prioritize.
Friend can make you feel better no matter how bad the situation is.
Life is too short to be serious. Let's have fun.
Let's talk.
We'll go into the second one. The second F that makes a life full is family. And I'm sure all of us have different families. We all come from different cultures, different backgrounds, different families. And I'm sure everybody has a different story, even regarding family. But maybe we'll just look into, for me personally, actually, family is another part that I've been super blessed with. I think it's such a blessing to have a great family that took care of us, the gentleness, the love, the nurture that I got. Even till today, I can't look back at a time where any part of my life meant anything without family. So one was faith, of course, and now is family. So I'm sure all of us will relate to it differently. So Diana, you tell us, how has family changed your life from what you were to where you are today?
I think coming from a home where I grew up with a lot of neglect and a lot of difficult circumstances existed at home. So my childhood was difficult. But today I'm at a point in time where family, to me personally, is filled with a lot of commitment and transparency. Why I say that is because, especially after marriage, the relationship I share with my partner is something that I'm very committed to. No matter the number of things that I do, the only thing that I want to come back to is my family. And I think biblically also, family is definitely a blessing, right? It doesn't mean people who don't have comfortable, secure homes are not blessed with great families. It's circumstances take over, right? I think for me, the only encouragement I can give people at this point in time is that God is watching over you. God is never going to leave you. And definitely, God is going to enable you wherever you are, and He is molding you. So, especially my life being an example itself, I think over time I have realized that different homes are built differently, and God is present wherever you are. And today, because of the relationship I share with my husband and child, I think it comes with a lot of um, security and strength. And I prioritize family over anything else. And I think something that I saw while growing up was that my parents didn't have a lot of open, transparent communication with each other and a sense of commitment. And that's something that I'm very intentional about in building my home. And that came with the fact that I also grew up with a lot of difficulties, but I had to acknowledge that and help myself. And that came because of my strength from God. And also, I had to seek help professionally because I couldn't help myself alone as well. And I think acknowledging that uh, and seeking help has enabled me to build a family which is so intentional today and which is so transparent. I'm sure my husband and I have a lot of differences, but we acknowledge those differences and still move ahead. And I think that comes in because of the strong commitment we have towards building a home that is Christ centered and that is going to enable others also to watch and live a life that is pleasing to God.
Beautiful. I think, like I said, coming from a secure home is one thing that not everyone is blessed with, but also to just tell that how God sees it, even if you don't. How God just sees it, knows it, and now how beautifully, like, you built a family, though you didn't get that while growing up. It's just been amazing. Akshita, you tell us, how has family impacted you and your life?
I think for me, family, like Diana said, is something which is really important. And um, coming from a family where you've been the only girl child, I think you've seen so much of pampering. And now, when you come to a stage where you have to build a home for yourself, I think you need to think back on what you've learned as a child and growing up in a family, what are the things that you were taught as parents, taught by your parents, because that's how you would also have to live your life. And I think for me, family has been one of the biggest support system, and someone I can always fall back on, because even though when there have been times where there were hardships, I think the only people that I could run back to is my family. Because no matter what you do in life, whether it's right or wrong, at the end of the day, even if a closest friend doesn't stay by you, but I think your family is always there to support you and to guide you. And I think more than anything, it's the values that they teach you and the values that you grow up with. And it's so important for us to build a home and have those same values, because in today's world, when you look at people around, the concept of family is not something that's been taken very seriously, because family is something that is just a social thing that's given. But you don't see that relationship that youngsters have with their parents, and what values are being taught are not actually values that they are practicing outside. It's just something that they are learning, but you don't see that. And I think today, it's so important to have those values and also practice that. And for me, as a family, I've seen my parents, give us those values and take us through about also how important prayer is together as a family. And I think these are the same values that we are also, as a married couple, we feel these are values that we need to pass on to our children, so that they also come with values. And it's not just a family that in today's world have no values, but children in today's world, values are not taught at home because parents are busy, or no one really has the time because of the busy schedule. But I think we don't want to be something like that, because my parents or my family has always brought us up with certain values, and they've been a support system for us. And I think as we build a home, I think those are the things that I want to pass on to my children, and for them to pass on to generations, those values and everything that I've learned. I want them to have that.
Beautiful. It doesn't just stop with one family. We're talking here about generations. What you sow now is going to be going on for generations. And I think not everybody thinks about it, but it's nice that, we have to actually start thinking of it right now, and not just when we build a family. But thanks for bringing this point. So, Chani, you tell us how, for you in your life, how has family helped you grow and live a happy life? Because we are talking about elements that make a happy, full life, right? And how has family helped you grow and make this happen? Okay, so for me, like Crystal said, we come from a very loving home. So we're very close-knitted parents and 3 sisters. So all 5 of us are very close-knitted. And for me especially, family was like my safe place. It was a safe haven. While growing up, we had a lot of friends. We had this huge gang. We would go out. We would go to college trips. We would come back. But there's something I always believed in, and I think that was imparted by my parents especially, is no matter what, I would long to come back home. I would long to come back and share, what's going on, what happened in that day to my mom, to my dad, to my elder sister. And we were so close-knitted. So for me, I think family has always been that support system, that place where I longed to be. I didn't need to be anywhere else. I think family was my happy place. Growing up, and even right now, family has always been there. So for me, when you say family helped me grow, I think in that sense, for me, it was a place also where we rejoiced during our good days, as well as there were days which were not so good, that there would be encouragements. There would be people like my mom or my sisters coming, encouraging me, being there, weeping through those processes. So it was the good days as well as the not so good days. And that really enabled me to grow today as this independent woman who is also empathetic. Every single thing today, when I look back, I'm like, what my family gave me, I want to give back to the people God has placed in my lives. So for me, family definitely is one of the most important element to have a full life. Yeah, of course, being in the same family can relate to it so much. And also, like one statement you said, family is a happy place. I'm sure a lot of others may not, there are some people out there who may not relate to it. But then there's one thing that we can take back is that even if family was not your happy place, I'm sure it can become your happy place through you if you take that steps to build a happy family. And I think some of us like us are blessed that we already had that through childhood. Thank you for sharing. And Cheryl, you tell us, how did you navigate life when your family was going through a tough time? Because we're talking about family and not everybody can say it's happy, but when you go through tough times, how did you as a family navigate through that?
I, sorry. So I think one of the major lessons that we have learned over the years is accepting uncertainties and adapting to it. Uh, there were times where things were pretty bad and we didn't know what to do. And it's very easy to put the blame on others and make it seem like someone else is responsible for it. And take a back seat as well and say, I am not doing anything. I think as a family, one of the biggest things that we need to learn is no matter how uncertain it gets, we need to be adaptable to it to make sure that we stand up when the others fall, or when we fall, we have the rest to fall back on. And I think it's just striking that balance and making sure that we don't just give up on things, right? There are times that I'm pretty sure a lot of us would have gone through, especially during our teenage years, during our youth, where we think thoughts that really, bring us down. We're at points where we don't know what else to do. You feel like there's no one else. But family is the one that would basically, I mean, like you said, there are people who come from broken families, and there are people who don't know what families really mean. But just to know that you can be there for someone else, and when you stand up for someone else, there is going to be a group of people who would come back and stand for you. And I think that's one of the most important lessons that I have learned when it comes to making my life full, because I try to make sure that I am there for someone, knowing that someday when I fall on my knees, there's someone to hold me up. And I think one of the other things that I have realized, like all of us feel, right? Faith. I think having a community of people who would lead you spiritually is something that has really gotten me through like most of my tough times in life. So just to know that if I hadn't gone away from faith, and if that close friend didn't come and take me back and say, hey, I'm here when you are at your lowest, I wouldn't be the person that I am right now. So I think that's what family is all about.
I think that's so true. Some of us, yeah, biologically, families we are blessed with, but some of us are blessed with extended families that are equivalent to having a beautiful family. So, yeah, so two very, very integral elements that make life full: faith and family.